Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important math concepts, the Pythagorean Theorem. So let's begin. What is the Pythagorean Theorem? Well, it tells us that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, what do these letters or variables mean? Well, a and b refer to what's known as the legs of a right triangle. And yes, this only works for right triangles. And what are the legs? Well, the legs are the sides that make a right angle. Right angles are usually denoted with this box symbol. And so, for example, right, this could be side A, and if that's side A, this leg could be side B. Or even, it doesn't matter, right? This could be side B, and this leg could be side A. It doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is that the side directly across from our right angle is our side labeled C. And this is known as the hypotenuse, and it's also the longest side of any right triangle. And so let's look at this first example over here on the left. And so if we want to solve for x, right, we know this leg is 3, this leg is 4. We can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for x. So I can plug in 3 for a, 4 for b, or even 3 for b, 4 for a. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that x is c. So we can begin with 3 squared plus 4 squared, right? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. In this case, c is x. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 9 plus 16 equals x squared. 9 plus 16 is 25, so 25 equals x squared. And if we want to solve for x, the opposite of squaring a number is taking its square root. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is just x, and the square root of 25 is either positive or negative 5. In this case, we're just going to stick with positive 5, as you cannot have negative side lengths. And so, right, x is equal to 5. So in this triangle, our hypotenuse is equal to 5, which makes sense because that's the longest side of this right triangle. Let's look at the second example. In the second example, we're actually going to use the Pythagorean theorem to work backwards to find one of the legs. In this case, our y variable. So again, y could be a, 5 could be b, or even y could be b, 5 could be a. It doesn't matter. I'll just use y as a, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared, so y squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. In this case, I can't simplify y squared just yet, so we'll bring down y squared. We'll simplify 5 squared, which is 25, and 13 squared, which is 169. Now, to solve for y squared, we have to subtract 25 from both sides. These will cancel, so now we're just left with y squared on the left, equaling 169 minus 25 is 144. Now we can take the square root, right? The opposite of squaring a number is taking its square root. So the square root of y squared is just y, and the square root of 144, again, it's both plus and minus 12, but in this case, we're just going to use positive 12 as you cannot have negative side lengths. And so this side would equal 12. Which again is a good sign considering our hypotenuse of 13 is our longest side of this right triangle, which is our hypotenuse. So that makes sense.